Hello, I'm back. I'm going to do my Athens, Greece information this time. I went straight from Athens from Larnaca, which was what I talked about last time, well, Cyprus in general. So I went straight to Athens from there. Flights, even without trying that hard, are pretty cheap. I think even without even really looking that hard, they're like $50 one way from Larnaca to Athens, which is really, really good. I mean, I'm not going to go too much into flights. I could do something separate on that because it's very subjective and whatever. But anyway, so I got to Athens at night, about like, I don't know, 11 at night or so. There's a couple ways to get to the city from the Athens airport that don't involve taxis, which is something I'm sure is going to show a lot that I tend to avoid as much as I possibly can, just because, you know, taxis are a really, really easy way to have terrible things happen, and I hate to be paranoid, but if there's a way for me to avoid that, I will. So, there's two ways that I know of that can get you to the main area easiest. The train is the first one. It's 10 euros for a one-way ride. You can walk there easily from the airport, so it's no issue. And then there's the bus, which is 6 euros. It's the X95 bus, and both of them go right basically to the same area. The bus takes a little bit longer, I think, which is, I think, why it's a little bit cheaper, and also it's a bus, so, you know. But it's called the Syntagma station, which is where all the main sites are, the Parthenon and the museum and the Zeus's temple, all that right there. So that's probably the place where you're going to want to stay. Connor met me again for the weekend here, and we stayed in an Airbnb again. As I said, Airbnbs I generally will always recommend. Just read the reviews. They mean a lot. But yeah, it was fine, really close walking distance to everything, and it was great. Alright, if you're going to the Parthenon, I would definitely recommend buying a pass for 30 euros rather than 20, especially if you're looking to see a lot of the history. The 20 euros just gets you into the Parthenon, which obviously is the main attraction, but with the 30 euros you can see 5 other sites, lesser known sites, I guess, including the Temple of Zeus and Hadrian's Library and stuff like that, for just 10 euros more, which is honestly a better deal if you're planning on seeing all those things. So that's what we did. Awesome, great, highly recommend. Food, I think I mentioned this in the Cyprus one, but eat Greek gyros. They are incredibly cheap, incredibly delicious, and it will change your life, I will assume, if you like food at all. But for real, they are so good and so cheap, and just have one and thank me later, okay? But, alright, so whatever, we did all our stuff, we saw the sights. Also go to the Parthenon Museum, which is right outside near the Parthenon-ish. It's only 5 euros to get in, and there is so much incredible history in there, like, so much, like, it'll be coming out your ears, there's so much, it'll be coming out your ears, there is so much stuff, and it really, like, just gives you the background and everything before you go to the Parthenon, or after, depending on, you know, what you want, but, yeah, see that, for sure. And then, what else? We pretty much, you know, just wandered around. January in Athens is colder than expected. I was not ready for that. I mean, I guess I assume, oh, Greece, it's gonna be warm and nice. But, you know, winter is a thing, it happens, so just be prepared for that. Well, Connor, then he left. I stayed. I did move to a hostel afterwards to, you know, save some money. I will do something separate on this, but I used the app Hostel. I used the app Hostel World to book hostels, and, you know, I highly recommend it. The main thing I look for when I look for a hostel is, other than location and price and stuff like that, is do they have lockers, large lockers for, like, storing bags, because I don't know if I just have trust issues or I'm just rather safe than sorry. But, you know, if there's somewhere to put your bag so you can put it somewhere and lock it up when you're out for the day and not have to worry about coming back to your stuff being stolen, especially if you're traveling with like a laptop or something like expensive, it just gives me peace of mind. So I stayed at the Hostel City Circus, by the way, and definitely recommend. It was, you know, fine. The only bad thing was it was right across the street from like a club or something that played music until 4:30 in the morning. So if you're planning on sleeping, maybe not. It only happened one day on Saturday night, so if you're not there Saturday night, maybe it won't matter, but that's the only bad part. Also, the main language here obviously is Greek, but the majority of people speak English, so you know, if you only speak English, you shouldn't have too much trouble communicating with people. And I spent a total of 3 days in Athens, and I felt that was plenty to see everything and feel like I had a good feel of the city. So yeah. I also want to say this city is very walkable. I know I said before that I'm kind of a walking person. I prefer walking as opposed to taxis and buses and stuff in a city if I can, just because you see more, you save money, you burn calories, blah, 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 whatever. But yeah, in general, the city is very walkable. I never felt the need to have a taxi, or I felt like I was dying from too much walking. So there's that. Also, generally, if you stay in hostels, you probably already know this, but if you are looking for a way to get to know a city and don't really know where to start, there's generally a thing called free walking tours. If the hostel doesn't have information, you can, you know, either ask them, or if you just Google free walking tours blank for whatever city, it'll usually pop up and tell you where the meeting point is, and it'll show you all of the main sites of the city and give you a brief history of it and show you cool restaurants and things to do, and you pay just what you feel like paying. It's just tip-based, so recommend that if you didn't know anything about that. But in general, Athens is a great city. Not my absolute favorite place in the world, but definitely beautiful. The history obviously is incredible. And yeah, hopefully this was a little bit better and less jumbled than the Cyprus one, but maybe it's not. But yeah, so I will be back next time with Santorini, and if there's something, again, that I glazed over or missed, let me know. Alright, also, I'm really sorry that I'm the same color as the wall.